What's up, everybody? It's Tonberry Disciple, and today I wanted to do something pretty cool. I wanted to do a full story explanation on Final Fantasy II. Just to get it out of the way, a brief history on Final Fantasy II. It was pretty big for the series. Actually, it came out in 1988. It was a big change from Final Fantasy 1 and introduced quite a few different things and a couple staples to actually mention before we dive into this would be the Chocobo and also the reoccurring character Sid. Okay, now let's get this going, everybody. Let's dive into this. This is going to be one good story explanation. Grab that popcorn, go get you some pretzels, eat a hot dog, tear the bread off a corn dog and throw it away because it tastes like shit. This is going to be a good ass video. Final Fantasy II actually centers basically around four young characters, for the most part, whose parents were killed during a Hellspawn army invasion led by the Palamecian Empire. The four characters the game actually revolves around, Firion being the most character that it falls around for the most part. Then also you have the archer, or you can actually customize it to anything, Maria. Then God, the animalistic, feral-like, beast-like dude that can talk to animals character. And sometimes you have in your party, very rarely, at the end of the fucking game, you have Leon, or also known as Lionheart in the Japanese versions. Wait, who is the Emperor? The Palamecian Empire, or the Imperial Army, is ruled by the Emperor, who thrives on nothing but pure power, and that is really all he is about. The game opens up really with four characters, Furion, Maria, Guy, and Leon, all fighting these Dark Knight soldiers, whom basically leave you in an area where, well, you can't even fucking attack these guys. You have no fighting chance. Boom, Maria's fucking dead. That's what happens. And then you eventually go and wake up in this city called Altair, whom basically is being ruled by the King of Finn and his daughter, Princess Hilda. In Altair, the team decides to join the rebellion, which is basically led by Princess Hilda herself. Just after being denied the rite of passage, the small team sets off to look for their lost friend Leon, whom, if you hadn't already noticed, did not wake up around the party. During their small adventure, they meet up with Hilda's fiance, Prince Scott, who is now dying. Scott actually informs the team that a former Knight of Finn, Borgin, betrayed the rebellion to basically become a guard in the Imperial Army. The team soon returns to Altair to inform Hilda the news, which proves the team's value to Hilda, and she soon grants them entry into her rebellion. From there, the team actually goes on many vigorous quests, and let's face it, they didn't need Hilda's permission. They were badass from the start. All Hilda did was make them her busybodies and send Minwu with them to guide their passage to make sure they did the job right, so they could get a lot of stronger other materials and whatnot. Well, eventually their journey leads them on to the northern city, which is really snowy and ice-capped and probably really fucking cold, to meet up with a new character to join the party who is a badass motherfucker, Joseph. Joseph just really isn't in the party too long, and he is a bit of a family man. Joseph also ends up having to do loads of things to help the party out, like getting them the new snowcraft, which is pretty damn cool. He also tends to be very helpful in many helpful situations, like this one here, obviously. Ah, RIP, bro. RIP. After completing the mission and obtaining the mithril, the team sets out to prevent the construction of the dreadnought, only to fail with the added surprise of seeing Princess Hilda captured, which, needless to say, leads to another excursion the party must endeavor. Soon the party manages to destroy the dreadnought and saves Hilda and Sid. After that, just to speed through things, the King of Fen soon dies and leaves Gordon in charge, but right before his death, he actually tasks you to find the last dragoon and the wyverns to help save the land. Which you soon find out that all the wyverns are actually dead. Assuming all wyverns are actually dead, you are actually tasked to go and use a pendant that you actually obtain later on in the story to talk to a modern wyvern who seems to be the only survivor for now, and she actually gives you an egg in which you have to go through a vigorous trial and a really long dungeon to drop the egg into the bottom of a life spring, which this life spring is said to have mystical powers. While all this is going on, you actually have Mean Wu, who has been told by the dying king to actually go and find the ultimatum magic, which could be the ultimate magic they need to defeat the Empire and the Imperial Army, which eventually sends your party to go on a long, vigorous trial of quest to do most of these things that lead up to this point, which gets you onward to the point of the wyvern egg being dropped into the life spring. Soon after all of that, and before the image we see here of Furion dropping the egg into the live stream, the party actually gets swallowed up by Leviathan, which sends them into a small mission to meet or what is thought to be the last dragoon, Ricard. And after obtaining a ship, they actually are able to flee Leviathan with Ricard and use the pendant to actually talk to the Wyvern, which leads everybody up to this point. Which, soon after all of those missions collaborate, go into play, and come together, you are deemed with the mission to go destroy the Dreadnought. While the party and Ricard are actually inside of Leviathan, Mean Wu is in Massedian Tower actually trying to obtain the Ultima Tomb magic, where soon leads onward to a more difficult journey for Mean Wu. Ricard actually has the ability to talk to wyverns, which back in Altair leads up to the point of him using the wyvern to actually fly into the cyclone, which is now attacking the world and the surrounding area, which was summoned by the Emperor himself. The Emperor has basically tried to decimate the world the rest of the way with this cyclone since Dreadnought failed. Well, the party makes their way inside of the cyclone, needless to say, to actually go inside and defeat the Emperor, only to find out that there is someone else willing to take the helm right after. Leon, this bastard, showing up right here, at the end of the fucking game. Which, after you defeat everybody and Leon takes the new crown, he basically decides that he is going to now take over the rebellion, which the party is then set to travel down to Palmesia to try and stop Leon and confront him, which they are soon met up and they actually get confronted by the new emperor, who is now in a new demonic form. Here is basically the ending of the video game. The team is basically forced to flee away from the Emperor's new demonic form, not knowing really what he is capable of. Leon soon joins the team and agrees to help destroy the new tower which has just risen from the ground, Pandemonium, and also the Emperor. And Pandemonium, just to briefly take this and get it out of the way, is basically a giant tower that has ascended from hell and is actually connected to there. To get to Pandemonium, the team actually has to cross through a jade passage. And this jade passage is basically the 7 levels of hell, if you want to put it that way. Once they get to Pandemonium, the team is faced with defeating the Emperor, which also again leads to the ending of the game. This has been a brief story explanation from me, Tonberry Disciple. Hope I got basically the biggest point across in the game. Sadly, with this game being created in 1988, there wasn't a whole lot that they could actually do for the story. All the art here was created and drawn or painted, or even, I'm not really sure how it was all done, by Yoshitaka Amano. And we also had an unmentioned character I didn't really realize till basically just about the end, Layla. And now I really hope that you subscribe. I hope you continue to follow me here on YouTube. You can also check the descriptions for all kinds of different links to different types of social media that I'm a part of. All kinds of cool shit always going on there, and I will continue to do more of these full story explanations after I complete more of the Final Fantasy games throughout the series. You can catch me playing Final Fantasy XIV every single night, and during this current time, which there's no telling when you might watch this in the future, I have been playing Final Fantasy III. So if you like hearing the following curse words: shit, piss, fuck, cuck, cock, sucker, motherfucker, tits, fart, turd, and twat, goddamn, bastard, super fuck, slammin' fuck, fuckity fuck, 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 you got so much shit in your ears that you can't hear that? Something like that. Then go ahead and subscribe, because there's a lot of rage going on a lot of these playthroughs. So, viewer discretion is advised, and if you just heard all of that, seems I'm a bit too late. Again, this is Tonberry, a disciple. It has been very fucking awesome. I hope you subscribe. Take it easy.